Gentlemen, welcome back to the club. The only reason why I've taken my mask off is because I need to shoot this video. But I kindly ask that whenever you're within the walls of the club that you have your mask on at all times, except when playing squash, working out, or once you're seated and before you have a meal in any of the rooms of the club. So now let's move on to the check-in area. Gentlemen, this is our new main check-in at the club, which is located at the rear handicap entrance on the west side of the parking lot. All members wearing masks will come to check in, and either the front doorman or another staff member will confirm your reservation for your activity of the day. Once marked in, please proceed to your activity. Gentlemen, I'm here today for my 9:30 a.m. reservation for squash, and I want to give you a couple tips in the new facility and how it's marked up and how you can proceed in playing squash at the club at this time in phase 1 of Maryland Club's phasing structure. As you can see, we have new floor markings all over the facility and in the squash courts. Directly next to court number 1, we have 3 designated bag drop areas per the rules and guidelines from US Squash. So when you enter for your reserved court time, I have court number 1 today at 9:30, so this is what I'd like to see you do when you come into the club during phase 1. I'm going to put my bag in the designated bag drop area and take out my gear for the day, which would be a racket and goggles if I can find them, to get ready for my phase 1 solo hitting only session. If you follow me, we're going to see some new markings on the ground. To begin with, what I'd like you to do is put your racket and your goggles on the floor. We're asking that no one lean up the racket or goggles on any walls at any given time, and try not to wipe your hands on the walls. So before I even get to the ball sanitizing, I'm going to put my racket and my goggles on the court floor. You'll notice that the first marking on the ground clearly says, look before you exit, physically distance. The reason why we put this particular marking here is you can tell that our hallway behind our singles courts is very narrow. So please, before you open the door, make sure no one is behind the court before you exit. Behind every squash court, we have individual sanitizing stations now. And you'll see right here, the keys are to sanitize before and after you play, and use our new Flex 800 wipes to sanitize the ball. So what I would do is I would come in here, I would make sure that I sanitize first, get my hands clean. When you have a court reservation, we will provide the ball for you, right here on this dot. You're gonna grab one of the Flex 800 wipes, grab the ball, make sure you thoroughly sanitize it, okay? And then we're just gonna put it right onto the court. And then we're gonna discard the wipe, and we're now ready to enter the court. Now that I'm physically on the court, I can take off my mask. So, as we go through this video, a couple more things I'd like to show you. There's also some new markings in the squash court, and these are designated areas to put your water bottle and your towel, because we will not be providing these services in phase 1 of the Maryland Club Squash and Fitness Plan. You'll see P1 player 1, P2 player 2, and this is designed that once we enter phase 2, we will be entering full singles play. But again, let me remind you that in phase 1, for the first 2 weeks, it's solo hitting only. So I ask that you put your water bottle and your towel in this designated area, because it will not be behind the court or in your bag. We're trying to reduce the amount of activity behind the courts or in any area so we can properly distance. Other than that, a couple other tips. We ask that you stay on the court for your full 45 minutes and that you do not break outside the court because you have your water bottle and your towel, and that you do not lean your racket up against the walls or any of your protective equipment. Keep it on the floor at all times. Once your session is ended, we ask that you properly exit the facility through the fitness center, which is our main exit now, through all 4 phases of the Maryland Club Squash and Fitness phasing plan. And after that, just have some fun. Again, this is the first 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we'll be changing this plan. I hope you've enjoyed this part of the video, and now we're gonna move on to other parts of the facility. Gentlemen, in phase 1 of our plan, the locker rooms will be closed temporarily, opening up on a modified basis in phase 2. So the available bathroom for member usage is in the squash lounge by the pro shop. You'll see new markings on the floor, and I want to show you how the upstairs looks now around the doubles courts. You will see that there is a restroom arrow indicating where the bathroom is. So as we make our way up, you'll notice some changes into the space. One, that all the furniture has been removed from the space. Here's another arrow indicating which way and where to access the bathroom. So there is no furniture, no bar stools, and even though it looks a little stark, these are the recommended guidelines, and we are following them to a T. You'll also notice that we've added some nice things while you've been away and added some color to the walls in the doubles courts. And now we have our very proudly hung Maryland Club Open banners from the 15 years of this wonderful tournament. Also, you will notice our same individual sanitizing stations and our dots behind the courts for bag drop areas. Same on court number 2 doubles. In addition, you will see that we have new touchless hand sanitizers that have been located around the facility and new wipe stations. We've added, I believe, 8 sanitizing stations in squash and fitness alone, along with a total of 7 wipe stations. On court number 3 doubles, it has a dedicated sanitizing and wipe station. Again, you will notice that there are 2 designated areas for bag drops. As we continue to walk towards the bathroom, unfortunately, in phase 1, the pro shop is also closed. But we'll be reopening to 1 member at a time with some protocols in phase 2 in the next 2 weeks. We ask that when you're using the bathroom, and if someone's in the bathroom, that you please wait there on the dot, giving yourself the proper distance before you're able to use the restroom. So again, just giving you an idea of how the facility looks when you come back next week. We can't wait to have you, and we can't wait for you to enjoy getting a real sweat back at the club, even if it's for a short period of time, but that you enjoy the club as you once did before as we continue to return toward normalcy. Now, let's see what Gil has done downstairs in the fitness center. Gentlemen, now we're downstairs in the fitness center, and our fitness director, Gil Lopez, is going to take us through.
So as you come in from upstairs, you come right to the bag drop area, drop your bags, grab your towel and your water bottle, and then you can hit one of the zones. As you can see, we have zone 1, 2, and 3, and then we have all the other free weights available as well. So we're gonna be limited people, 15 people per hour in the fitness center. So you might have a choice of what you want to do. So we're gonna walk this way, just show you the zones and how we have it lined out. So make sure you try to stay in your zone. You know, practicing this 6 feet distancing, social distancing. And then walk around to the cardio area. And 2 zones right here. The racks, hard racks, 1 and 2. So we have 2 people right here working out. And then one other thing, we did take down all the bands and anything that's we cannot clean. That's all that's a foam and foam rollers and all that, because you know at this point we don't have the defoggers to be able to clean them. But we did get everything else defogged. They need to be defogged. And then follow me this way. And then we have all the cardio. Every other piece of cardio is taped out or is not in use. So you can see that we have it all zoned out or even a sign. So just trying to keep your social distance, you know, trying to keep that distance from everybody. And we have, as you know, we already have the wipes. So we can show you before you start working out, you grab at least 1 or 2 wipes, then get on your equipment and clean all the touch points. The hand touch, the screen where you're gonna be touching, the handrails, right? And just wipe that down and then throw that away, get the hand sanitizer, right? And then get back on the equipment and start working out. So we have spent a lot of time to get everything set up for you. So I hope that you have fun and also make sure that you keep safe.
All right, gentlemen, we're outside the stretching area. Just want to remind you that the locker rooms are closed in phase 1 of the Maryland Club Squash and Fitness Guidelines. So you can see here we have a dot saying please do not enter. Also to the hallway here, do not enter. And now Gil's gonna take us on through the stretching area.
And only 4 people are limited in the room at the time. So as you can see, we have four areas for stretching, and so we're trying to keep it safe, okay?
All right, guys, remember, maximum of 4. You can see how the room has been distanced. And please be safe and have your mask on at all times.
Thank you.
Now Gil's gonna show us the Group X room.
Well, welcome back. So we have the door marked, or the floor marked, so you can, with direction of the room. We have a bag drop area as well. Be bringing the bag. There'll be no bags or anything in there other than your towel and water bottle. So as you enter, and you can see we have 6 zones only. So it's going to be limited to 6 persons and a trainer. And we have the wipes and hand sanitizer at the corner. And so we're just going to keep it to 6 members at a time. There you go.
All right, guys, just some final thoughts. We want to thank you for watching our video today. We want to make sure you wear your mask at all times. Gil and I are together, and even though we've probably been quarantined together because we've been spending so much time making these guidelines happen, please keep your mask on at all times until you exit the facility through the main exit here at the fitness center. I'd just also like to let you know that we're very proud of these guidelines, these 4 phases that we've created with the Squash and Fitness Committee, so that we can get you up to speed as fast as possible. Gil.
And when you're exercising, you can remove the mask, but when you're walking around in the fitness center, make sure you wear the mask and to keep everybody safe. And thank you again for supporting us and supporting our staff. Thank you.
All right, buddy. To the next phase.